Hello folks, welcome to another entry in the SAS tutorial series. In this video, we will be covering PROC t-test. There are several variations that you will need to know how to perform in SAS. Let's dive in. First, let's load our data. Finally, we will look at the paired t-test. This test compares two associated measurements of the same variable. In this case, we'll look at the time spent asleep before and after our study in the intervention arm A. There are actually two ways to perform this test in SAS. In the first method, we compute a change score and perform a one-sample t-test as before with the null hypothesis set to 0. In the second method, we use the paired statement and PROC t-test. First, we'll need to make a new dataset to filter out only intervention arm A and then compute a variable for our change score. The change score is simply the difference between the two measurements. Here, it is the sleep time after intervention minus the sleep time before intervention. Now we have our data ready to use. For the first method, we can see the syntax is the same as the one-sample t-test, just with the change score as our variable and the null hypothesis set to 0. Let's run this and see what we get. As before, we get the summary statistics, parameter estimates, and test statistics. Now let's use the other method. In this method, we use the paired statement to specify our two variables instead of telling PROC t-test to use a change score. Here, it is sleep underscore after and sleep underscore before separated by an asterisk. Let's run this with F3. We get the same array of tables as the other method. In fact, if we compare to the previous output, the results are exactly the same, since a paired t-test is just a one-sample t-test on the change score. The output of the second method provides some more detailed plots for assumption checking, but otherwise produces identical results. Thank you for your attention. That covers what you will need to know to use PROC t-test.